So through the years being a massage therapist, I've actually come through a lot of people, and I've experienced where these neck injuries and injuries dealing with a lot of athletes is just like, wow, I can't believe it happened. But on one particular day, it was a skier that came in and his neck was like this. And I was just like, how the heck am I going to pull this out? But it took me almost 4 hours to pull the tension out of his neck. So it's just basically you have to not only deal with the neck, you have to deal with the back. You have to deal with like the muscle connections, like the network of the neurons and all that other stuff coming out of the neck. But then you also have to pull space over here because this is tight. So when you have a sports related trauma, they don't always tell you what's going on, but you know what? Washina's about to tell you what really goes on when it comes to sports related injuries, when it comes to this neck. So what ended up happening, his body remembered, like this guy that does the skiing, his body remembered the whole injury like it took place to just that second. And I was just like, what am I supposed to do? And he said that he went to therapy before, but he was just like, I'm not gonna go and not get the proper treatment that I need because it didn't really work to the way that he wanted to. And you know, after years, I mean, this injury happened years ago, and usually sometimes you find people not working like they usually work, and you have to find somebody else that's, you know, doing that type of quality work. So it's just basically deep tissue is needed, structure integration is needed, chiropractic care needs to be in place along with physical therapy. But what happened is it's kind of like when you experience a trauma, sports related trauma, you have to almost restructure and recommunicate with the neurons because the neurons remember this injury. So you got to tell, it's almost like you have to do energy work. Sometimes you have to do Reiki or something like that to bring the energy back in balance. I also offer Kundalini for these type of advanced hits because the stuff is draining when you do energy work and you're trying to fix this type of trauma, type of injury, because it manifests in the energy field as well as on your body. So what ends up happening is that neck trauma is there, but the energy that's supposed to be running up and down your neck into your heart through your body is disconnected. So you got to reconnect the energy. And a lot of times, you know, there's therapies that's there. Like, you know, you do have some people that's trained and know what they're doing. I can't do it all, but I know some people that know what they're doing that could get these people, especially when they do the traction of the neck, you pull the neck up, that stuff feels awesome. But for the most part, the body will remember this. So I pray for Irving, because oh my gosh, I know this is the most painful experience ever because I've had my share of car accidents, and those neck injuries stay with you forever. I hope he has adequate insurance that's going to cover him even after he finishes his soccer career, because this injury is going to, you know, stay with him even out. And it just like looking at this graph that I'm about to show you is basically the injury comes from the head and it goes down the spine. So it's just like it doesn't stop at the neck. This thing goes down the whole entire nervous system. So you have to correct the whole entire nervous system, just not only the neck. But then it's just like what the doctor said, where you have these ligaments that can get torn. And sometimes if it's that bad, I hope it's not that bad for him. I'm just praying for his healing. But it's basically they have to put plates in place of, you know, the things that have been popped. And then sometimes what they do in medicine is they'll get a cadaver's bone and replace that bone that you've missed or is damaged, and they'll replace it. But yeah, it is what it is. But it's basically when you have that type of blunt force trauma, you need assistance. You need medical attention. You can't just go like, oh, I'm just gonna, wing it or whatever. You gonna wing it and you'll be jacked up for the rest of your life. But you need CBD oils. You need acupuncture, cryotherapy going on in his neck. And then also sometimes kinesio tape to help stabilize the muscle, because sometimes the muscles forget how to stabilize themselves. So you need all this stuff going on in your therapy, and then you just have to continuously release this type of stuff. But it's just like once you have scar tissue and stuff, there's people that does structural integration, that does scar work, and they're able to help the body, assist the body in healing, because what the body does, it creates a barrier system within itself just to help it stabilize. But if the scars are there, the scars can also create a barrier. So it's basically, you have to get these barriers taken care of and constantly like every so often go through a whole different series of the structural integration, because your body's going to remember this trauma until it, subsides, and it just, treats it as it is nothing or it hasn't happened. But it's going to take a long time for him to recover, and I pray that he recovers fast. But I seen that, and I was like, God. I just pray for him. That's like Whiplash too, and Whiplash get you, it gets you all the way down your back, and you might not feel it today. You might feel it a few months and even years after that. And then Whiplash, you always have to constantly monitor how you're breathing, because these muscles of your ribs, they get locked up in a place because your body goes into like a shock where it protects automatically. So you have to release all that tissue, release all of that for it to start functioning. But as far as his head injury, I just pray for him and his family. Oh my gosh, I just pray for this man. It is no joke. And I just pray that the people that are there for him supports him. I pray that his teammates call on him, check up on him, be a real team to their teammate. And, when they don't see him, to go and visit him, because when you're down, you've been around everybody for all these years, for all this time practicing, go see your friends, see how they doing. Don't give up on your friend. Contracts are contracts, but develop friendships that last. And if that's your friend, go and check up on your friend every now and then. And, don't make him feel less than a player, because he's a part of the team. Like, guys and girls, they're part, when you have your team camaraderie, you have your team. So make sure you take care of your team. This is Washina on behalf of the Sipping Room. If you need to book an appointment, if you have neck injuries, as long as I have a doctor's clearance, if you've just suffered from an injury or something like that, I specialize in pain management as well. So it's just like, when you have pain, there's multiple ways of relieving it. But if you can't, or you don't seem, or you find your way of feeling relief, come get on the table. Let me see what I could do for you and see what we could go. Because I could release the tissue, get you, the pain resided, and then you go to the structure integration person, and you go to your chiropractor if it's possible. But you have to make sure you follow along with your doctors and make sure everything is okay. So, because not all chiropractors believe in massage therapists, and some doctors don't believe in chiropractors, and then you have some doctors that don't believe in either one of them. So you just have to make sure that everything is clear. But sometimes you have to take control of your own health and your own life. But everybody has their limitations. I just know when I can't do anything else for you, you still have pain, you have to go to a structure integration person or somebody that has been in the field for a while to see what they say about it, because a lot of times experience is the most powerful experience, or the most powerful tool that a person has, because they've seen it before. So this is Washina on behalf of the Sipping Room. Goodbye.